Hey there, nonprofit leaders. Welcome back to Nonprofit CEO Spark, the podcast that helps fuel your leadership, protect your energy, and spark lasting change. In today's episode, I'm sharing behind-the-scenes lessons from a unique opportunity I had in 2024 when I stepped in as the Interim Executive Director of an arts nonprofit organization in Denver. While this wasn't my first rodeo as an executive director, it was my first time back in the ED seat since 2017 when I was leading the organization I founded. And wow, did this experience last year give me powerful tools and a fresh perspective for anyone navigating nonprofit leadership transitions, burnout, or rebuilding staff morale. Whether you're stepping into a new ED or CEO role, navigating a board relationship, or just trying to stop spinning out, you're going to walk away from today with actionable tools and mindset shifts that will support you now and for the long haul. Welcome to Nonprofit CEO Spark, the podcast for bold leaders ready to navigate growth and change with energy and confidence. I'm Marcia Beckner, nonprofit founder, former executive director, and culture strategist with nearly 20 years in the social impact world. Each week, I help nonprofit leaders stop spinning out, set boundaries, and design inclusive cultures where all staff can thrive. If you're ready to reignite your leadership without sacrificing your well-being, hit subscribe and let's spark your next chapter together. So last year, I said yes to a really special opportunity. I stepped in as the interim ED for a Denver-based visual arts nonprofit with the greatest mission, helping people discover their creative spark. The executive director was heading out on a one-year sabbatical, and the board needed someone who could jump in and keep the momentum going. And honestly, I could not raise my hand fast enough. This organization was thriving. It had a dream team. They have about 30 people made up of full-time staff, part-time instructors, studio assistants, all wildly passionate about the mission. And the culture, it was healthy, kind, collaborative, basically the nonprofit version of a unicorn. And walking into that environment was a true gift, and I knew it. But here's the real reason I said yes. This wasn't just a leadership opportunity. For me, it was also deeply personal. Years ago, when I was going through chemotherapy for ovarian cancer, I took a pottery class. Not to be good at it, because trust me, I was not, but because it gave me something no medical treatment could. Art gave me a sense of peace. For 2 hours a week, my anxious, exhausted brain got quiet in the pottery studio. I wasn't a patient. I wasn't a person to be cured. I wasn't a person to be constantly poked with needles. I was just a human that day, shaping clay. And everything went out of my mind except for the art I was creating. That is the healing power of art and why I'm so passionate about it. So stepping back into the world of creativity and community through this organization felt like coming full circle. Now, whether you're stepping in as a new CEO or pinch hitting as the interim like I did, those first 90 days are make or break. Think of it as your leadership launchpad. And here I want to share 5 game-changing insights I picked up along the way. The first is to learn fast, but don't rush trust. At the start of any leadership role, my first go-to resource is a book called The First 90 Days by Michael Watkins. Basically, the playbook for diagnosing where the organization is from a lifestyle perspective and mapping out a solid 30, 60, 90-day plan. Now remember, listen to before you leap into action, ensure regular check-ins with your staff and leadership team, and watch expenses like a hawk, preferably monthly and not annually, so that you're keeping an eye on those. The small moves you make now in the first 90 days means that you'll have bigger stability later. The second insight is to strengthen board communication. Think of your board like a group of VIPs, because they are. Set up quick one-on-one chats with each member, not just to check a box, but to really build relationships. Ask them what kind of updates they actually want to hear at meetings, and be very transparent about finances, programs, and fundraising progress. And while you're at it, clear up any fuzzy lines around who decides what. And when in doubt, over-communicate. Consider that clarity is kind as a personal mantra, because clarity builds trust and keeps everyone aligned. It stops surprises before they happen. Now, the third insight is to engage the staff intentionally. So let's talk about team culture. That's my favorite topic, because even the most mission-driven staff can drift off course without a little compass check-in now and then. So we started by measuring it. Yes, measure your culture, not with vibes, not with wishful thinking, but use it as a proven, leveraged tool. I recommend my Culture Cares framework because I've used it several times in different organizations, and it truly works. But you just want to, whatever you use, just measure your culture through a survey, through interviews, and see what's working and what needs a little love. Think of it as an X-ray for morale. Then keep the engine running with weekly team huddles, not just meetings, but meaningful moments to celebrate wins, align priorities, and yes, air out those little things before they become big things. And here's the magic move. When tension shows up, because it will, don't run. Don't sweep it under the rug. Instead, lean into restorative conversations, ones that are grounded in curiosity and not assumptions, neutral, compassionate, and focused on connection, not blame. That's how you build a team that doesn't just work together, they grow together. And the fourth insight is to activate community partnerships early on. Let's talk about fundraising and partnerships, because if you wait until the bank account dwindles to talk to a donor, it's obviously too late. Don't be the leader who shows up only on Giving Tuesday. Introduce yourself early to funders, donors, community partners, anyone critical to your mission's success. Send the email, make the call, shake the hand, whatever your style, just do it before you need something. And then, here's the secret sauce. Stay in touch even when nothing's urgent. Consistency builds trust. Trust builds funding. And then the fifth insight is to create sustainable systems, not just quick wins. So here's a big one. Get really clear on your role. Are you the bridge guiding the organization through a season of transition, or are you the builder, laying the foundation for long-term change? And once you know the answer, you'll lead smarter. Here's a pro tip that will save you so much time. Help your team capture the top 20% of the systems they use that drive 80% of the results. You don't need to start from scratch. Use AI as your assistant. Seriously, open ChatGPT and type in things like, improve this process for onboarding new volunteers, or create a repeatable system for managing grant deadlines. Use AI like a partner or another assistant and really get efficient. It'll help you create clear, streamlined templates that every department can use. No more reinventing the wheel every quarter. As you lead, don't just think about what you're doing now. Think about the leader who comes after you. Create a simple, thoughtful transition plan. Leave a legacy of stability and not spaghetti. That tangled mess of who does what again? Your future self and your successor will thank you. Here's your week's spark plug shift. Schedule 30 minutes this week to decide the top 3 systems or processes that keep your organization running smoothly. Ask yourself, if I left tomorrow, would the next leader know how to carry these forward? Documenting even a small piece now can become a powerful gift of stability later. Thanks for listening to today's episode of Nonprofit CEO Spark. If you're ready to turn burnout into boundaries and build a healthy, happy culture where everyone, including you, can thrive, visit culturecares.com to learn how I support nonprofit organizations like yours. If this episode brought you value, share it with a fellow leader navigating stress and overwhelm. And remember, you are meant for great things, and you don't have to burn out to prove it. Until next time, keep leading with courage and confidence.